Welcome to the Power BI Accelerator program. I'm very excited about this opportunity, and now the question is, are you ready to accelerate your Power BI career? If so, let's get started. Today we're going to start with week 1, and we're going to talk about Power BI foundations and data preparation, really important concepts to master Power BI. So this is the agenda, and just to clarify here, we're going to go over the theory first because I believe theory is really important to master Power BI, and this theory is going to give you some guidance, but we're going to spend more time in the last bullet point, which is the hands-on exercise. So let's go ahead and cover the first bullet point, which is the introduction to Power BI Desktop and Service. As you may know, Power BI Desktop is the free application. You can download it directly from Microsoft. You can create your reports there, you can play with it, and once your reports are done, you can upload these reports to the cloud or to the web. It's also called Power BI Service. You need to have an account, of course, at least a Power BI Pro license. And the mobile layout is actually a good one because most of your end users might have a phone. They might use a computer, a laptop, but a phone is usually more handy. So it's really important to have your reports on a mobile layout. So the goal with this layout is that your end users should have a better experience. That is the first bullet point. Let's keep moving. Data sources and connecting data. Without data, we cannot do anything. So really important to be familiar with the data sources and also how to connect to data. So as you can see here on the left, you can see here different data sources. You can get data from an Excel file, text, CSV, as you can see here, from the web, from SQL Server database, from SharePoint folder, and you also have many other options, ODBC connections. So there is a lot of options here. So plenty of options. And this is coming directly from Power Query, like I said before. And let's keep moving and talk about Power Query. Power Query is really powerful. It is within Power BI Desktop. And also now you can explore Power Query in the cloud directly, but that's a different topic. But here we're talking about Power Query within Power BI Desktop. So at a high level, we have 5 different parts right here. The first one is the ribbon. So there are many options here, but you can use these options to shape your data, to transform your data, as it says right here. Provides multiple tabs to add, transform, select options for your query, and access different ribbon buttons to complete various tasks. Many options, like I said, to shape your data. Number 2, this is the queries pane. Every time you insert a new table or query, it's gonna be there. And for this particular screenshot, I have multiple queries. It has a specific name, each query. And then number 3, this is the view. If you select a specific query, for this particular example, I'm selecting population. See right here, population. So that's what we have for population. We have country, we have country code, we have date, and we also have population. If you want to explore another query, you can just select the query on the left, and then you will have a specific view for that query. Number 4 is the query settings. This is also important because every time you perform a transformation, that step is going to be recorded here, as you can see on the right side. You can even rename it. That's a good practice as well. And another cool thing about query settings is that you can rename your queries, as you can see right here. By default, it's usually called table 1, table 2, but you can rename it here as well. Finally, number 5, this is the status bar. Really important piece as well. Like it says right here, it's a bar displaying relevant important information about your query, execution time, number of columns and rows, and also the processing status. So at a high level, these are the parts of Power Query, and we're going to be using this part a lot. So what can we do with Power Query? You can perform basic data transformations. As it said right here, you can shape your data. You can also combine your data. For shaping, you can just rename columns. You can change text to numbers, for example, change data types. You can remove rows. You can add more columns. There are so many things that you can do with Power Query. Another cool thing about Power Query is that you can also combine data. Combining data means that you will be combining two or more queries or data sources. You will shape them and then you will consolidate them into just a single query. In Power Query, you have two options: append, which is add rows, different rows from different tables, and then you also have combine, which is basically add new columns from different queries or tables. So now let's go over the introduction to relationships and data modeling. This is really important as well, because the idea is that you will have a fact table in the middle and then dimension tables around it. You might be familiar with the star schema modeling concept. This is important because you're going to have relationships among these tables. At a high level, relationships, they are links between two tables. Like it says right here, there are different types of relationships: one-to-many, one-to-one, many-to-many. Please use one-to-many always. This is the best option, okay? Please keep that in mind. There is also more concepts here about data modeling. So what is data modeling? Data modeling is the process of analyzing and defining all the different data types your business collects and produces, as well as the relationships between those bits of data. So these are the components. You can go over this at your own pace, but we have data. Without data, we cannot do anything, like I said before: tables, columns, measures, relationships, hierarchies, and also star schema. Another cool concept about Power BI is the implicit measures. So you don't have to do anything with this type of measures. Like it says right here, Power BI creates implicit measures automatically when a user drags a field into a visual. We're going to go over this during our exercise, okay? You can recognize implicit measures by the sigma symbol in the fields pane. So here on the right, as you can see, from electricity rate through unemployment rate, you can create implicit measures with these fields. Best practices. This is also really powerful if you want to create insightful Power BI report for you as a developer, as a creator, but also for your end users. Here are a few best practices. There are more, of course, but you can create a separate table to store your measures. Really powerful. Bullet point there as well. Organize your DAX measures in folders. Important as well. Use variables for complex DAX calculations. You can also format your DAX code, especially if you're performing complex calculations. You can also use this website if you want to format your DAX formulas or calculations. Use DAX keyboard shortcuts to boost productivity. And I'm giving you here an option to download the full list of shortcuts. Use comments in DAX, really important as well, especially if you are handing your Power BI reports to a different developer. So they might want to know what's going on with your formula, with your DAX calculation. Really important to add comments there as well. Prioritize measures over calculated columns, really good concept there as well. Use Power BI backgrounds, resize your canvas. These are good practices to keep in mind. We're going to be using some of them in this week. And now, this is the time, my friend, to go over the hands-on exercise.